Hi everyone, and welcome to my presentation. I will be talking today about my interview with Kimberly Yance at First Year Experience, and I'll go ahead and jump right in. Kimberly Yance, she was the Associate Director of First Year Experience at Jerusalem University, and I interviewed her on October 11th at 9 a.m. at Dee's Friendly Diner in town. So just some background information about Kimberly. She went to Armstrong Atlantic State University from 2007 to 2013. During that time, she got her Bachelor's of Health Science and Public Health, followed by her Master's of Education in Adult Education and Community Leadership. And how she ended up at First Year Experience was that she applied for an Academic Intervention Advisor position in FYE, and then she was promoted to the Coordinator of Peer Education Academic Intervention, followed by another promotion to Associate Director of FYE. So before working at Georgia Southern, Kimberly, she had worked for the Coastal Health District with at-risk foster youth and doing teen pregnancy and STD prevention awareness. And she continued this work into her master's program, and also during her master's program, she worked as an admissions representative at Armstrong. Now, during her undergraduate experience, Kimberly became very involved and connected with the Armstrong campus, which led to her initial interest into higher education. And so the reason why she chose the master's program that she did was because she was really interested in public health, also interested in higher education, and so her master's program set her up for a path that could go either direction, so she was open up to both opportunities. But she still admits that even in the beginning of her program, she was still a little hesitant if it was the right choice for her. Now, she had applied for the academic advisor position at Georgia Southern, which is how she even began her career in FYE at all. But she says that she felt very lucky because the academic intervention advisor position took both aspects she liked from public health and higher ed and basically combined it into one position. Now, working at FYE, Kimberly really enjoys it because she gets the opportunity to work with different populations of students, such as students who have a below 2.0 GPA, and student leaders. And one of the major things that she really does like about that is that she can help them find their passion, see that they can be successful, and have a great experience at their university, their college. And she also gets to work with student leaders and see them grow and develop as well. And so getting that opportunity to help and watch students grow and be successful is the most rewarding part of her job. Now, the least favorite part would be payroll, such as approving time cards. It can be a bit challenging because that is a newer aspect of her position that was recently added, which she's getting the hang of it now, but in the beginning it was challenging. Now, Kimberly is happy to work in higher education just because she does get that chance to work with students, see them grow and develop, and help them in their college career. And also with higher education as a job field, since college and universities can be very big and have different departments, there's a variety of jobs and things that you can do as well. So there's a lot of potential to grow, develop, or to also change what you're doing. Now, for plans for the future, Kimberly actually just recently accepted a position in North Carolina and at Western Carolina University. And so she will be starting that new job position soon. And advice that she has for her students is to stay in your job for at least 1 to 2 years. Now, maybe not try to go past 2 years just because you should think about your next move, your next way to grow in your career, but also don't stay in your job for less than 1 year, because if an employer looks at your resume and they see all your jobs are just less than 1 year you've stayed there, it could potentially raise some red flags. And staying in a job for more than a year shows that you stayed even when times can be challenging, that you pushed through challenges and you came out on the other end. Also, finding a mentor, someone to go to, someone to help you grow, is a great benefit that she really recommends people do. And also to establish boundaries with students. And she learned this from just interacting with students. For example, on the weekends, most faculty and staff don't work on weekends. And so she made that boundary that with her students, she wasn't going to reply to emails on the weekends, because if she did reply to emails on the weekends, that would always be the expectation of her to reply, and that is her time off. And so she does say that it is important to establish those boundaries with students. Now, a little bit about First Year Experience. For First Year Experience, the exact mission statement, which I got from their website, was to promote academic excellence and student learning first-year experience facilitates first-year student acclimation to a university community, which means just taking the student population and helping them to get adjusted to coming to Georgia Southern. And so right now, things have changed in the office, and so the FYE office has been broken down. So this led to first-year experience basically consisting of Kimberly, 4 graduate assistants, 3 in the Statesboro campus, 1 on the Armstrong campus, and 1 full-time person on the Armstrong campus. Now, one of the graduate assistants oversees peer education and teaches an FYE course. Another teaches 2 FYE courses and helps with folio issues. And the other one helps with assessment projects, while the other is graduate assistant on the Armstrong campus. And so with recent changes that have happened, there's currently no director over the department, which can impose some issues, obviously. And so changes and impacts with recent changes. There's also been a split now for the department with the budget. And so now there are 2 budget lines for FYE, which can create some sort of complications because there are students who are student peer leaders or student leader supervisors who are also admins, and it used to be in the same position ID so they could get paid the same way, but now that's changed with 2 budget lines, and so how to allocate funds and how to pay them has to be figured out a little bit more. And so that's definitely a process. It's just trying to work out the kinks of using 2 budget lines. Now, one of the biggest accomplishments, though, since changes have happened since the consolidation of Armstrong, for example, peer education program, after the consolidation, for example, during the 2018-2019 school year, had the biggest group of peer leaders it's ever had. And the program retained all its peer leaders last year, and the number of returning peer leaders has more than doubled. And Kimberly says this could be because she, as the consolidation happened, the program had to change with the consolidation. And so Kimberly added the peer leader supervisor position, which basically anyone who was a peer leader before was now had a chance to supervise other peer leaders. And with that also changed the training for peer leaders. And so the peer supervisors would work with their peer leaders that were under them. And basically it broke up the training to where it wasn't a large group, but that everyone worked into smaller groups with their assigned supervisor. And so it proved to be effective because no peer leaders left in the middle of the program last year like some have had before. Now, one of the biggest difficulties that has happened is that investing time into a program and building it up, only to be told things are changing that will impact the program and having to start over again. And so this happened recently where people had came in saying that things were going to have to change in the office and with the department, which led to it impacting the FYE and their courses along with their peer educator program. And so that is a challenge for people to come in when you work so hard to build up a program and you invest your time in it. And basically you have to start from scratch. It can be a very big challenge. Now, the future of FYE. The future of FYE is pretty unclear at the moment just because of all the recent changes that have been happening this semester. And so it's hard to say what will happen for them going further. And issues with higher education, Kimberly did say that she feels that students are not feeling supported or included. And so an example of this could be the Armstrong campus students feeling like second-class citizens compared to Statesboro campus students. And so that's just one thing that she sees personally that could be an issue in higher ed. Now, for my reaction, honestly, I found what Kimberly said to be actually very insightful, especially her advice about going through my career and how I should always look to be progressing to the next stage, not trying to stay too stuck too long when I could have room to grow and to develop and gain new experiences. And so I thought that was really great advice. Now, would I work for Kimberly? Actually, in a way I kind of do right now because I am actually interning for the FYE office. So I'm helping Kimberly out with the events right now that are going on, like speakers coming to campus. And I love working with Kimberly, and I would still work with Kimberly if she was staying at Georgia Southern, but since she is going to Western Carolina, then that does change things. But if I could have the opportunity to work with her in the future, I definitely would. Now, working for FYE specifically, It's hard to say just because there is uncertainty in the office right now and so many changes going on. I would say no, just because there's not a whole lot of solid foundation to work off of since everything is changing. But a department that works in a similar way, I would definitely love to work with, just because I get the chance to work with students. I can help them in their college career, figure out what they're going to do with their major, what they should do career-wise, help them to do better in their courses. I would really enjoy doing that work, and so I would definitely want to work for a department like that. And overall, from the interview, I thought it was great. I learned a lot about what I could potentially face going into higher education and what I should expect to come across, but also just like reaffirming what I want to do, which is the chance to work with students a lot, and hearing that it is as great as I think it can be to work with students, just to see them grow and develop, to help them better themselves, to just watch them just become a full-on professional, and that you help them get there, I think would be very rewarding. And so having this interview with her definitely reaffirmed that. And so I thought the interview was great. It was insightful, and it gave me a lot of realistic expectations going forward into higher education.